warmest, the most excitable, no, most exciting. We're just eating. You can do better than that is what I'm trying to say. Hi everybody, hello, hello. So many of our enemies have characters that are yelling, right? You've done it at home, watching on TV, or playing a video game, just yelling at your character because you missed that jump, that combo. Hey, my name is Will. It's my great pleasure to bring out our next guest today in our series of panels. If you want to hang out after this, there's one more after this. Of course, if you don't get a chance to ask a question of our guest today, you can see them on the floor, so go and do that. If you do have a question, by the way, I'm going to ask you, this is not a wireless mic. I'm kind of being conservative with our mics here, so I've got two. If you can come down here, I'll check in with you every now and then if you have a question, see if someone's had a question. You're probably going to have to come down here in order for me to get to you, for you to ask your question. Okay, very good. All right, our guest today first flying kicked his way onto the screen and into our hearts as one of the young up-and-coming stars of the Power Rangers franchise. Since then, of course, he's worked in nearly every area of entertainment: musician, singer, writer, director, producer, and of course, a voice actor of too many roles today in anime and video games. Please welcome to the stage, Johnny Young Bosch!
Thank you guys. Happy to be here. It's been a long time. 2017, I think, was the last time I was out here, so happy to be here.
So, I didn't plan on this, but this is what's happening, right? This is happening live, you know? We're going to work our way into this, but as you even shared on social media, Crunchyroll has just announced that we're going to see a Trigun Stampede in 2023.
I found that out today.
Oh, you found out today?
Yeah, my post is from today, because somebody came up and was like, no, it's real. And I was like, oh, I guess I should post it. Yeah, so I guess that's happening.
So we don't know if you'll be reprising your role or...
I hope I'm reprising my role. It might be weird if they don't have me.
I think there'll be a revolt.
At least, well, I hope that, well, there is.
At least in hashtag form.
Right. No, that'd be super awesome to do that. That was my first anime role. Yeah.
So, you obviously you didn't start, as I mentioned, you didn't start off as a voice actor.
No.
Which came first, your passion for martial arts or your interest in performing?
Martial arts.
Martial arts?
Yeah. I got beat up and picked on when I was younger, so learning martial arts was, just the next step to defending myself. And then I really just grew into it. Like, I just love martial arts. I still train today, various different martial arts. But, that at some point, watching Kung Fu theater and things like that, like Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, and Sammo Hung, I was like, I want to do that. I wanted to be an action star. I wanted to do martial arts on television, film, and so getting to do Power Rangers was really a dream come true.
And as far as, obviously, Power Rangers now, it's been a long enough time, and I'm sure that show has now inspired future generations of martial artists and performers. Was your pop culture then influences or inspirations? Was it Bruce Lee? Was that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, mine was. Yes. I mean, I watched Kung Fu theater. I grew up on all that stuff. Whatever else was, I watched Godzilla. It wasn't known as anime when I watched, Speed Racer. Right. It was just cartoons. Yeah. And then later it was Japanimation?
Right.
I think late 80s it was Japanimation, and then it's so racist. And then it became anime.
Thinking about your love of Bruce Lee, your interest in martial arts and youth studies, knowing that you went from one area of entertainment, you sort of after Power Rangers end, you're sort of living in different places, trying different jobs. It seems very Jeet Kune Do to me. This kind of idea that you're just absorbing as much as you can and ready to take opportunities as they come. It never strikes me, you're sort of living in a very Bruce Lee way philosophically. Maybe.
I didn't think about it like that. No, it's more like, I don't have a job now. What am I going to do? I guess I'm going to play the guitar. It's just like one thing was like, I had it was like, the door had closed, it seemed like, for me to do film. Like at that time, I'm in half Asian, and so there really wasn't a whole lot of like roles looking for a half Asian guy. And it just wasn't open to that, or it was, you're either Caucasian or you're Asian. And so when I'd come into an audition, I just wouldn't get it. Because the guy who looked Chinese, when I'm going out for a Chinese role, and this guy definitely looks more Asian than I do, I'm not going to get it. So I had to deal with that. So actually falling into voiceover, finding that, gave me the ability to continue acting. So that door closed, and then I stumbled into, I actually did a film, I'll just tell you real quick, I did a film with the Japanese stunt guys from Power Rangers, and the audio didn't work. And so when the movie was done, I had to basically dub myself through this entire film. And as I was dubbing myself, the producer walked by, heard my voice, and said, man, you got a good hero voice. I'm doing some animation stuff. Would you like to come audition for that? And I was like, yeah, sure. I needed a job. I was desperate because I couldn't book anything on camera. And so then I booked a Trigun, and that opened up a whole new door. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll do this now. And then another point I had to go between there, it's like I had no job, didn't know what to do, and I was like desperate, and I was virtually homeless, living with whoever would let me stay with them. I had a broken cot, 2 trash bags full of clothes, and a guitar. I wrote a song about it. And so I just started like, I guess I'll learn how to play the guitar and start singing. So I started a band, and so everything just kind of like, well, this is what I'm going to do now. COVID happened, and the world shut down. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do voiceover anymore. For a while, it felt like that. So then I changed gears and I started producing stuff and directing things. And so I was like, I guess I'll start doing that. And then voiceover came back. Okay, we're kind of back. But mostly, but now I have my own studio. Well, I had my own studio because my band. Now it's like definitely set up for voiceover. So I can do that at home now. So you just kind of
See, I'm not trying to crowbar it.
And you just kind of, you're right. You just kind of.
That's all I wanted you to say. Thank you.
You're right. He's right.
When you get your first voice acting, so someone else, you said the producer sees you, you're matching your own flaps, essentially. You're doing eating hard there, I guess, in the movie. When you're auditioning that, do you just use those skills that you don't have any voice acting training or skills in them? You just rely on gut instinct, whatever you had.
100%. Yeah, it's well, like for Trigun specifically, there's someone, I don't know if someone else was just doing a scratch track in English, but there's someone else they played me. That sounded much older. And then they played the Japanese, and to me the tone was totally different. And they said, can you do something like the Japanese? Sure, I could try. And then, you kind of like, when you see the sequence or whatever it is, you just kind of pull from what's happening and you go, oh, okay, this guy's kind of goofy, silly, and then, which was really kind of strange for me. I'm, more of an introvert. And then my character on Power Rangers that was just me, just my shy guy in the background. So this was like, I had to like step out into that a little bit more, and it's just my voice, and so that was also kind of scary. Because another side story, but like growing up when I was younger, me and my friend were throwing football in the front yard, and this kid across the street came over and started throwing rocks at us. I was like, dude, what's going on? And he ran inside. And we were like, that's weird. And then so we were throwing football again, and then his sister comes out and starts yelling at us. Why'd you throw stuff at my brother? We didn't throw anything. He was throwing rocks. Anyways, I started doing this, and she was like, oh yeah, well you sound like a girl. So for a very long time, I thought I sounded like a girl. And so, when you're recording my voice message, I was like, I don't sound, trying to sound manly, and then, so for a long time, I was really, really super insecure. So it's just strange that I do voiceover as like the bulk of my career.
It is not strange. Maybe it's exactly.
Yeah, maybe it's. Maybe I sound like a girl. Actually, I did see I saw some comments on something else I worked on, and they were saying he sounds like a girl. And I'm like, yes, all right.
Did you that said about being shy and Power Rangers, your character is similar to your personality. Did you find it liberating in being in the booth and no one can see other than the producer, director, and you get to be somebody else?
Yeah, I mean, it is. In the beginning, it was very scary for me because it's the whole focus is on what I'm doing.
Right.
Whereas I'm used to like being in the background, you know, and Tommy and Rangers are out front, and I'm standing in the back like this. Right. That's all I did. For most of the show, that's all I did. So it was scary, and then I kind of, my thing was like I would just turn down the lights completely, so they couldn't really. I knew they were watching, but it was like I could like tune them out. I'd turn off the lights, and then all I'd have was the screen and my script, and I'd get this kind of tunnel vision, just kind of focus on that, just ignore what's going on there. And sometimes some directors would be distracting because they're like making jokes the whole time, and I'm like, man, I need to focus. You're gonna really throw me off. This is a serious situation. So even just kind of dealing with those sort of things in the beginning for me was pretty hard because I just wanted to do it right, you know. And then I got to a point where you go through you give everything you got, and then you find out later if it worked or not, you know. And then you kind of act from there. You go, okay, so when I give 110%, that's when it works. You know, when I listen sometimes to the wrong person, you know, and do, you know, you just balance that. You kind of find, I guess, talk about Eldeka 7. So Eldeka 7, which I really, really like, there was, in the very beginning, they kept asking me to pitch him up, because I replaced someone else who was a great voice actor on that. But they were afraid that I wasn't going to sound young enough, and they wanted me to pitch up. I said, is it okay for me to bring it down just a little bit, because I'm going to lose range, and I feel like I'm going to sound complaining the whole time. No, just pitch him up, keep pitching him up. And then, of course, that volume came out, and it, like, great reviews, oh, the animation's great, all the voice actors, except for Johnny. He sounds like he's complaining the whole time. And I remember going back in, and I'm like, did you guys see that review? Remember you guys told me I did that, and I kept saying, you know, and so can we do it my way? Oh yeah, you can bring it right down. That's fine. It's too late now. But you know, you learn from there, and it's like, all right, I need to put my foot down sometimes, you know, because it's my name. It's not going to be like, well, the director. No, it's I did it. So, anyways.
Those are some of the questions I was Susan. As far as you're doing two things, you got to do both. Maybe in some instances you're matching the energy of the original Japanese dub and match flaps. Does your martial arts training help at all with the timing of the flap matching, the mechanics of this?
You know, some people might say yes. I feel like maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I do definitely feel like, for me, I could definitely lock into it from the beginning. Earlier on, I could lock into it. Like even action sequences, they just go, all right, and they hit record, and I just chase it, and then I get down, you know, really tight and close, and that's kind of like what I'm known for is like being able to chase it like that, especially in reaction to the fights, which is a weird thing to know, but I do feel like maybe that is what it's from. I'm not 100% sure.
Or maybe whatever skill made you good at martial arts also makes you.
Maybe, yeah. It's that focus. Watching those flaps. 3 flaps. 1, 2, 4. Okay, I got it. And you just start doing it.
Picture with the clockwork orange type setup, right? You can't blink.
That's true though, because I don't know why, but I don't think I blink when I'm doing it, because I always come out of there and like I'm like bloodshot, dry eyes.
So you mentioned great cartoons when we were kids. Even we had anime, we didn't always anime. Some of the anime was edited in such a way for American audiences because they felt the sensibilities of American children. It was really our parents.
Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon. I'm thinking about Gatchaman. They took out whole sections and they put a whole other thing in.
Power Rangers, same thing.
Power Rangers. Any sense of that's happening today with the work that you're getting from?
Well, anime-wise, I don't think so. Yeah, I think they're letting it all come over. Kind of basically trying to keep it. It's important, I think, for them because the fans want to see it in its original state. Anyways, so they definitely try to keep it that way.
And growing up, so I guess when did you become a fan? Or know you were a fan? Or maybe you're not.
I hate it. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I think, I mean, when was it? I don't know. It was like whenever the Batman series came out, there was around that time. I think there's like Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. Seeing that and going like, whoa, this is dark. You know, and because I grew up watching like Tom and Jerry and Popeye.
Yeah.
And so like when you see like a story that seems, a cartoon that seems dark, Ninja Scroll, Battle Angel, Alita, you know, even Akira, right? You see those and you're like, oh, I ought to watch this. Ninja Scroll is probably not the right one to watch with my mom. But I did. And I was like, ugh, I didn't realize this was going to happen. And there's a lot of things in that. You guys know what I'm talking about? Yeah. That one dude that controls, yeah. You know what I'm talking about. That one was like, Mom, it's cool, right? Anyways.
You mentioned Akira, and of course, look, growing up in the 80s, Akira is probably one of the first, if not the first, film that many folks that era saw that was straight up anime. I imagine for you, what is it like then to get the call to dub Akira?
I was super excited. It was, I think that was my second or third thing I worked on. Yeah, so it was really close to after doing Trigun. They were like, hey, we heard you in Trigun. I want you to come and be the voice of Conan and Akira. And I was like, because I knew what it was. I was like, yeah, I'd love to. And then I remember we did it, you know, it was fun. I enjoyed it. And then that was another one where the original Japanese director wasn't really pleased with what they did in the other English dub. It was like they changed it too much. And so he wanted to make sure that things were closer to the original script. And so being able to do that was really cool. But I was super excited, and I remember they had like I think it's on the special edition DVD or something. They interviewed all of us, right? And I think I was just too hyper, because all they have of me is like, oh yeah, I got to call, and I was like super excited, and then that's it. Like in the interview, that's all they have of me. Like everyone else, they answer questions, but me is just, and I was just super excited, I got the phone call, and then I'm like, wow. I guess I must have been a spaz the whole time. But I learned. See, after that, it was like, oh, okay, so I better not spaz out so much. Be cool. You'll make it on the interview. Whatever.
You had the job.
I did, but still, it's like, you know, it's a special edition DVD, and now all I get to say is, I'm leaving on the phone, I had the phone call. Everyone else answered questions. You can go me. No. I know, right?
Sounds more subdued next.
Well, I learned. Actually, I started playing it too cool. When the Sailor Moon, I think they were doing the Blu-ray, and actually they sent me a list of like a ton of questions, and I was like, this is for the sailors. They want the sailors to answer this. So I didn't feel like it. Like a lot of them felt like, I don't know if Artemis will be answering this, or why am I asked this? So I just put meows. And so my answers were like meow, 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 exclamation marks, you know, I did that. And I just sent it out as a joke. And they were like, what are you doing? Did you really need me to answer these? And they're like, yes. They want answers to the questions. I was like, didn't the girls do that? Like they want you to answer the questions. I was like, okay. So I like answered a handful of them, and then I left the rest of them as meows.
How do you obviously, you voiced countless, I said at the beginning of the intro, countless characters in video game and anime. How do you continue, or what's your process for coming up with the voice? Your approach to the character?
You know, I don't really think about the voice a whole lot. It's you know, what's in this audition, right? Do I have a picture of the character, and then what's the age of the character, and then so I just kind of go, all right, well, like Oregon, Iron Living Orphans, I was like, oh man, this guy's been in war for a long time, so I screamed my entire way to work. When I'm driving to work in 45 minutes, I'm screaming so that I get in there and I'm like raspy and throaty, and it just feels like I've been shouting in war, like a military guy, right? So And so you might not really feel that, but I feel it, and so I got to push through it a little bit, and then I think that kind of comes across a little bit when you watch it. And so it just depends, young kid or whatever, and then some, certain characters take longer to warm up. Some like Ichigo is one where I could just go be Ichigo. So I don't focus too much on the voice. I really just more focus on what's happening in this scene, what's happening in this world, who is my character, where was he, what's he doing now, where has he got to be, and then do I need to have some kind of progression to get to that point. Like with Ichigo, like his fight stuff in the beginning is real earthy and uncontrolled grunts and noises, but then by the end of episode 60, he's learned his ability. And so, I changed it to be a little more focused in his fighting. And so you kind of just look like, it's like you would if you're writing a character, like what's the story arc for this character? Where's this person? Who does he need to become? And then where do I start? Where are we picking up at in this arc? And then you just kind of figure it out. Like, well, I'm going to be here probably at the end. You're playing a villain. So they reveal him at the end, so that's when you're going to be really crazy. So you're going to Itachi is one, whereas he's right here, and then you're going to get here later. So,
So for those, you have the benefit of the existing media already to know the story, versus some of these jobs, I'm sure you're getting fed line by line.
Some of them, yeah, some of them.
So you don't have that benefit.
You don't always have. You have to ask those questions. Sometimes they won't tell you, but you do have to ask those questions, like who's this guy? What happens later? Like, and a lot of the directors are really good, anyways, and they'll just kind of tell you basically, this is who you are, and eventually this, or they'll hint at it, so you can figure out, okay, I'm not going to live through this series. I'm make him really likable right now, so that,
It won't kill me off for
So anyways, yeah, you just try to find who you are, and just try to make it real. I mean, I try to, not like method or anything, but you try to like really kind of feel, or I do at least try to feel, what would it be like for me to be this person in this world? Just as long as I believe it, then you guys might believe it. Otherwise, phoning it in, you guys are like, what the heck?
Yeah, it makes me think, not to name names, but there's sometimes they have this sort of stunt cast, and you've got a Hollywood actor is now voicing a character in an animation. And it often seems flat. Those are my words, not Johnny's. It seems flat.
Well, it's different. Acting is very different on film. Like in film, you can be real subtle because it's huge, right? It's usually up on a big screen, so your movements and everything can be real subtle. But in voiceover, it really can't be. It depends on what the project is, actually. But yeah, you could actually have something that's super cartoony or something a little more realistic where that still kind of does work. But you kind of have to you find that balance,
You mentioned you're not necessarily a method actor, but on your way to work, trying to wear your throat out, just so you sound like that.
Yeah, which is stupid. Don't do that. But I mean, I felt like for me, first off, I have to say that I auditioned for a different character in that one, and one that I thought I would usually get cast in. But then they insisted on me playing organ. And after I listened to him, I was like, man, that's not usually the kind of character I get. It's kind of a deeper tone. And so I thought, well, I don't know if I fit that unless I did this, and scream all the way there, and then it just would sound a little rough, and dirty and earthy or whatever. So.
And then the director's like, can you just do it a little less gruff?
Sorry. Yeah. It was a challenge actually, a little bit in the beginning, just to try. There's a few things where I'm like, I don't want to get that again. Can I do that again? Hang on a second. And I'd scream, all right, ready. just to find it,
And along those lines of selling what's happening in the action sequences, are you bouncing around in the booth?
I don't. For me, it's I you know what I do though? I do stay on my toes, so that I can drop it. So my diaphragm will change depending on what's happening in the action. If I'm getting hit or whatever, so I'll stay on my toes for anything, so I can make that change. But I do see people like, you know, punching and swinging.
Elizabeth told me she punched
She punches you. Yeah, okay, so there you go. Some people do. But I mean, that's what they have to do to get that same, you know, it's real, and at that moment, for them to throw a punch, and that's going to sound real if you hear it. Whereas I think my punch is going to sound like a punch standing still, on the toes.
What do you do then? Let's say, we talked about maybe you might be revisiting some roles, fingers crossed. What do you do to recall a role, even job?
To watch it.
Yeah.
And to watch it all. Just to get, like, back into it.
Do you find yourself doing projects at the same time where you're then having to take a peek at this, take a peek at that, or if it doesn't, it's not out to you, it's brand new, you're still having to remember, what am I doing today here?
You mean switching?
Yeah, keeping the voices straight for yourself.
It kind of depends, you know. Like there's one I'm working on now that's brand new. It's not going to be out for maybe a couple of years, but that one for sure. Like after the first session, first off, I thought I blew the audition, but then I got the role. I was like, oh gosh. And then so in the first episode, it was really trying to find out where they wanted to hear the character. Really, it's like, what do the producers want? Because this is what I want to do, but sometimes they want to adjust it, and it's like, give me more colors. And then they're going to pick and choose which takes they like, and then I'm like, well, I need to hear those so I know what you're choosing. And then after enough feedback, then you're like, all right, then you kind of pick that place. So you kind of remember it, and it's a lot of times it's like the first line you say of a character, you know, then that's kind of where you remember the voice. They'll play you a breath most times. Sometimes they don't. This is actually the one I'm working on. They don't. But it's really just me. So yeah, it just depends on what it is, really.
It didn't occur to me that you could audition for something, get the job, a couple months later, you don't hear anything, finally get the job, you're in the booth. Hey, what did I do to get this job?
Yeah, that happens. That definitely happens.
Do they have reference for you?
Sometimes. Most times they do, I think. Sometimes they don't though, but most times they do. That happens a lot. You know, I think in the beginning, when earlier in my process of auditioning, it was like, I wish I didn't get it. I didn't get it. And you kind of get bummed out, you know? And so at some point, I developed kind of thick skin. It was like, I'm just going to do this for this character and walk away from it. Do this and then walk away. Ooh, I blew that one. Then I blew that one. I'm like, oh gosh. But that happens, you know. You just kind of, you get to a point where you audition for hundreds of things, and maybe you'll get one.
I walked away from that one.
Oh, it happens a lot. And sometimes you can overdo it. Like I did this one where was I a turtle or something with like I think one of it was Irish or something, like an Irish accent. So I worked on it like real hard. I worked on it for like months. I had like the script or whatnot, and then I go in to work on it, and they're like, we're not going to do accents. And I was like, oh gosh. And then it was hard for me to undo it because I learned these lines a certain way, you know. And then I got replaced. All right.
You think it was related to that, and you couldn't?
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
This turtle's Irish. Folks have questions for Johnny. I want to make sure we make them fit. All right. Like I said earlier, you're gonna have to come down here. This mic is not gonna reach.
Form an orderly line, respect one another, as anime fans do, please. There you go.
All right. Can I go?
Yeah, please, go ahead.
So what's your favorite thing about voicing Giyu Tomioka in Demon Slayer?
Favorite thing about voicing Giyu Tomioka? Well, Giyu, just that he's freaking cool. He's just so cool, and I just want to see more of him killing demons. You know, it's like, leave the rest to me. And then he cuts the dude's head off like nothing. It's like, what? This guy is awesome. And then, you know, in the movie, I say, is that so? That's it? That's all you wrote me in for that? So, yeah, I can't wait. I mean, how many of you have read the manga? All right, so some of you guys know what's going to happen. So I can't wait to get back in there. I think he's a great character. He's stoic, you know, and there's definitely some stuff in his past that you know you can feel it in there. He's a samurai. You just kind of feel this like the honor, the code, and just all of that. And which I love samurai films. So just being able to play a character like that is really super cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And the animation is so good.
Yes.
It's real good.
Are you okay with doing like voice impressions of characters that you voice?
It depends. Some of the characters I might not remember, and some of them take some warm up, so it might not sound exactly right. But
What about Hajime Nata?
Hajime? Okay, let's see.
See, I want a voice impression of him telling Nagito why it's bad to eat pain.
Oh gosh, all right. See that? Let's see. What is the voice in that one? I just remember like shouting stuff. No, you're wrong. So somewhere in there, right? What did you want me to say?
I want him to tell Nagito why it's bad to eat pain.
Nagito, paint. It has lead in it. What are you doing? Don't eat that. You're wrong. That's the best I can do.
Obviously, so already I'm a Ichigo fan. So I'm super excited for New York to come.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
You need to project.
There you go.
So I said obviously saw earlier I'm a huge Ichigo fan. I told you I'm super excited for the New York. I enjoy how like his relationships with different people are different levels of complicated throughout the series, like with Kenpachi, where they're enemies and then rivals, and so I was just curious, out of the captains, who would be your favorite, and out of the spot?
Well, I like Grimjaw. I like Kenpachi. I do like Kenpachi. I like Byakuya.
That's my
favorite. Kenpachi's is cool. I would always joke that like if he ever learned his manga how to use it properly, that should be the end of the series. He like figures it out and he uses it, and then the last page is just black. The end. Yeah, I mean, I actually like all of the times where you meet, like even Renji, you know. The Byakuya one is pretty cool because then Haloichigo comes out.
That's my
You know, and that's maybe a little more special for me because I didn't even know I was going to voice Haloichigo. In the script it said White Ichigo, and I remember Wendy Lee was directing. I was like, "Who's doing White Ichigo?" She was like, "You." I was like, "Oh, so I got to think of a voice for that." Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot in there. I definitely like the relationships. I like even just, I mean, one thing that drew me to the character is earlier on when it's about his mother and he's like walking, I remember like walking through the woods or a park or something, and just he was reminiscing on that. And there's an emotional moment. I was like, man, that's pretty cool, you know, and it's just a feeling that he wants to protect not only his friends, but his family, his sister, of course, sisters. So, and then just wanting to, like I had this desire to know what happened then with his mom. Like I want to know about that, which maybe we'll get to find out. Yeah, that really actually drew me to the character.
My fiance loves the beginning where he's like, "And to protect my friends."
Yeah, no, he's pretty passionate. I like, but I also like that he's a bit of a goofball at times too. You know, I actually do like the balance of him, and I can't wait to get to it because the animation is pretty sweet. Yeah, at least from that little small clip that they show.
Okay, great, all right.
Yeah, you almost have to eat the mic.
I know, you have to do right at one. Benjamin Lexicon, great to see you again. So Blue Period has kind of become like one of my comfort anime. I really, really like it. Do you at all
I definitely can relate to him, and in many ways I have to, otherwise it's not going to sound right, you know. But definitely, and you know, I mean, when I was younger, I studied art, and I was like trying to be an artist. So I had many art classes. So there are many things in there that I could just relate to this, to just his world, really. Of course, it's very different, but still, I was able to relate to him. And there was one that I was like, I need to watch this one. Because we were going through, because here's things, like it was translated, I don't know who the writer was, and I'm not going to say that they were a bad writer, but Todd Havercorn directed that. And 99% of the lines he had to rewrite. And so he's like we'd look at the lines and I'm like, no, that kind of doesn't sound like English. And he's like, give me 5 minutes. And walk away, and they need to have like a whole new thing so that we can run through it, you know. But it was good to have that, because he really helped me to make this sound natural, feel natural. And I really like it. I hope that they do another season. Or whatever.
Yeah, we need a season 2 for sure.
Yeah, I dig it. And it's pretty modern too,
Oh.
you know. And not in like an annoying way. It's like, it's good.
Do you prefer you or Adachi's lines, and can you say your favorite or Persona?
You or Adachi's lines?
Yeah.
Well, Adachi's lines, I only remember bad stuff that I probably can't say in front of kids. Narukami's, I mean, I just remember all the shouting stuff.
Yeah. Could you do the Persona line?
I can say Persona. I hear that.
Like how he does it? Yeah.
How he does it?
Yeah, how he does it?
Persona! Mizunagi!
That's awesome. Thank you.
Who wants to talk about murder?
So about Adachi, right? I wanted to ask what it was like getting to take on the role of like the main villain in it.
It was awesome. I actually only thought I was voicing Adachi. So when I worked on the game, first off, when I got the role, I knew I was voicing Adachi in a game called Persona 4. And I was like, Persona 4? This is part 4 of something I've never heard of? Nobody's gonna play this. And then so I go in just thinking I've got this one character, and then as we're working on it, I'm like, wow, this is kind of a cool game, or a cool story. And then I didn't live it like, usually when you go in, like we do now, I learned my lesson from this one. You go in and you kind of have your pocket full of like 5 characters that you can pull out. So you limit things, or you adjust your texture or whatever. But with Adachi, I only thought I was doing Adachi, so I didn't. I was just like all over the place with his voice. Or at least whatever I felt like I wanted to do that fit the character. And then like the last 30 minutes, they're like, all right, we're almost finished with Adachi, and right after we're gonna go through all the protagonist stuff. And I was like, what? what? The protagonist? Like the main? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, is his tone different? No, it's basically the same tone. I was like, is this the same actor? Nope. And then I started to freak out. And then they're like, it's just call-outs. It's just, fight noises. And I was like, okay. So I just made it a little gruff, kind of, and a little lower. And then, so I did that. But then, of course, the more games came out, and they talk a little bit more, and then, of course, the anime comes out, and that's when I'm like, I gotta separate these characters. In fact, I asked them if somebody else could play one of the other characters, and I could just do Adachi. They were like, no, you're doing both. Which I was fine with. I was like, okay, just make it harder. But Adachi was awesome. I really did like him. He was really fun. He's probably one of the first villains that I was like, this one's really fun. Like, there's just so much there, because it's more of a. So if you haven't played it, I just spoiled it. It's been a few years, so it's still worth playing. I think it's pretty good. But the change, when things happen later, it's really a cool thing.
Very intense.
Yeah, and I wanted to try to bring that back, even though I had to separate the characters a little in the anime. Which Narukami, who was a bit sillier.
Thank you.
No problem.
Hey Johnny, I was wondering if you could do a Lelouch command. Could you command me to die?
I always feel weird commanding, people to die. It's so harsh.
I'll take it, I'm ready.
I just feel uncomfortable. It's like a Death Note thing.
You could command me to have a nice
I
rest
can
of my
command
day.
I Lelouch libertarian command you to make me a sandwich.
Thank you, Johnny.
That's another one that's supposed to be coming back. Oh, you didn't hear? You didn't hear it from me.
So, speaking of roles that are coming back, I know you said you fall into Ichigo pretty easily, and I'm sure it's probably the same with Bash. What has it been like, though, after so long coming back to Lelouch?
Man, first off, I'm pretty excited about it. It was kind of bittersweet for me, the ending. Like, when it happened, I was like, this is how they're going to end it? So I was a little bummed out, but also looking forward to other things. So I was like, all right. I'm pretty excited about it. There's so many more things that I know happen in the manga after we had stopped that I'm like, that would have been really cool to do. So knowing that we're going to be doing that stuff, yeah, I'm just happy about it. I can't wait. We haven't started yet.
Cool. Thank you.
I'll post later. Somebody had like taken Gets a Contention and placed it over the animation, the new animation, and Gets a Contention from the show, and they placed it over, and it fits perfect. It's like it was meant to be.
Are there any other characters you'd like to revisit in the future?
Are there any characters I'd like to revisit?
Yeah, like ones that haven't been made or.
Ichigo? Besides Ichigo? Bash? Besides Bash? Lelouch? I mean, there's a lot. Kaneda, I'd come back for that. Kiba and Wolfsrain, I'd come back for that. Izaya, I'd come back for some of that. Narukami and Adachi. I mean, I think all of them, most of them. Except for Ryunosuke in Face Day Zero. I just didn't like that guy. I just didn't like him. It was hard for me to like look past the old murdering children thing. That was like hard for me. Blue Exorcist is another one. I'd like to get back into that, you know?
Yes.
I think they, you know, there's the 2 seasons, right? But they kind of like, they did the first season and they're like, oh wait, people like this, so maybe we should make it more like the manga. And then they did this whole switch up on us, you know. And season 2, I'm like, you're probably gonna lose people by doing it. And I thought we were doing one. Because I think the manga continued, right? Then COVID happened and, you know, who knows now at this point, hopefully.
Bryce asked fans to like will it into existence.
What?
Bryce asked fans to like will it into
Look,
existence.
hey, seriously guys, if you guys want something to come, then it's up to you guys to make some stink about it. I think that's the only reason why Bleach is happening. There's a petition that was out a long time ago. I even signed it and posted it. You know, I think that was part of it. It's like, they just don't realize, like, oh, there are people who still like that? So I think if there's a show that you like, just make a thing and start posting it around. Be like, you guys want to like make a petition, bring something back? You guys hold the power. You really do. I have zero. I'll be replaced like that. You guys can make it happen. And in fact, you guys can make sure I come back. Thank you very much. I think the same thing with Power Rangers.
Hey, real quick, I just wanted to say I'm very excited to hear the story of the secret now about unique illusions. That's great. I'm very excited to hear that again. But what I wanted to ask was, I wanted to hear your response to being called dead weight.
My response to being called dead weight?
Yeah. From Devil May Cry.
Yes, no, I know what it's from.
Okay, I was just making sure.
I'm just trying to think of what my responses were. Because I remember being held back by Brian. I see, for me, when I don't really picture what happened game-wise. I picture what happened when we were in our mocap suits and, you know, doing that stuff. I'm pretty sure I said I'll show you dead weight. Go ahead. I'll show you dead weight! Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's true, but I heard that they might be making a 6. I don't know if it's true. Me just like saying that will get me in trouble. I didn't say anything. Stop filming! Because they're posting on. I'm the one that's gonna get in trouble. I'm just kidding. You can say that. What are they gonna do? Fire me? They probably will. Or they just won't hire me, I guess. We had to actually audition for Devil May Cry 5. Yeah. Ruben, Dan, and I, we all had to go in. We were like, wait, we have to audition? I thought we already had these roles. You know? But then they let us have them again. So hopefully 6 comes around and they'll be like, you guys want to audition again? For your roles? It's really weird. But I think it's because they thought we were too old. It'd been like, what, 8 years, I think? And they're like, can you guys still do things? How old do you think we are? Yes.
You look great, Johnny.
Thank you. I feel old. The day over 60.
I was just wondering, like, do you have a lot of fun doing like little crazier characters, like as you were talking about earlier when you did White Ichigo? He's a little more chaotic character.
Yeah. Sometimes more fun if the characters are a bit odd.
And I'm like also thinking about like the character you played in Black Clover.
Zora?
Yeah.
Zora is a lot of fun. Yeah.
You know,
I want more of Zora, actually. I just want to see him do more things.
Because it felt like when you watch the show that it feels like the voice actor is having a lot of fun just doing those roles and kind of having this character that's not just, you know, someone that you can kind of go, oh, this is who they are. No, this person's kind of chaotic and has their own way of doing things.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're right. Yes. What was it? I can't remember if I auditioned or if they just offered me the role. It could have been either way, but I remember going, no, they didn't. They offered me the role, and I looked them up, and I could, because I was like, I need to figure out what this show's about. I had no idea. I'd never heard of it. And so I was doing my research. I was trying to find even just a voice clip of something so I can see what the original sounded like. But I couldn't find it anywhere. But I found a picture of him. And I was like, oh, that guy looks cool. Like, why is he wearing a mask with teeth? So I developed a voice just by the way he looked. And then when I went in, I was like, oh, I kind of gave him certain things and certain things, ticks, I guess, that I wanted to try to do. And then when I went in and started doing those things, Chris, who was directing, was like, maybe not as much then. And I was like, dang it, because I really wanted to do it. And so then I kind of like had to find a place that was kind of between what I wanted and what he wanted. And then we found a place. He was like, okay, that's it. Let's lock that in. But yeah, it's a super fun character, and I just can't wait to do more. And it definitely is more fun. You know, there's something about that. It's certainly much more. You know, it's like if I play a hero kid, a typical hero, young kid, who's got a necklace that controls a giant mech. I've probably done like 10 of those. You know. And so then it's really relying on, well, what does the animation look like? What is the story like in that? Whereas this, I could just be this character, and I don't really have to focus too much on a lot of the other things that are going on. I could just be this weirdo, you know, and it would just be fun for me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, out of all the characters in Code Geass besides Lelouch, who do you relate to the most, and which one is your favorite character?
Besides Lelouch?
Yeah.
My favorite character and one I relate to the most?
Yeah.
Besides Lelouch. Because that would be my answer. Now let's see, if I have to choose someone else, I'd say Suzaku.
Suzaku for both? Who you relate to and who's your favorite?
Probably. Yeah, I think so. I auditioned for him as well.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, there's those two characters I auditioned for. And I've been happy with either one. But Yuri is great. He is great. Oh yeah?
Yeah, and my question for you is actually a martial arts question. Have you broken anything by accident while you're doing martial arts?
Yes. My pinky.
Oh.
Broke my pinky.
I broke my dad's garage ceiling.
Oh, you're being not yourself. You're being like other things. I actually did the same. I put a punching bag in my garage and when I was younger, and I hung it, not knowing anything about like whatever the house and foundation or safety. I just hung it and started kicking and punching it, and the thing just. Yeah. Now I got in trouble.
Yeah, I was pushing a punching bag too hard, and not only the heavy bag, it was a heavy bag too. Not only that fell, but this still part of my dad's ceiling.
Yeah. But then after that, I hung I'd take like my mom's like baking pans or whatever, like cake pans, and I would freeze ice because I just seen, what was it, Karate Kid 2? Yeah, and I just watched it. I froze like a big thing of a block of ice with a chain in it, and I would hang that up, and then I go. And then we did a bunch of them because I was trying to get my brother, because it was the old cameras. So I was like, all right, ready, 3, 2, 1, did we get it? No, let's keep doing it. And then you find out later, you didn't get it, whatever. But then that actually cut my hand up pretty bad. It's like glass when you punch through, and it's like thick. It looks cool.
But yeah, surprisingly, my dad was not mad at me.
Your dad was not mad at you?
No,
Wow.
he was more proud.
All right, that's cool. Yeah, my dad wasn't proud. My dad was like,
Very nice
what are you
meeting you,
thinking? Thank you.
Delivering the bad news. We have time for maybe 2 or 3 more questions, guys. But I'm sure you can go see Johnny on the floor. If you don't get to answer,
Yeah, you can come by there. I'll be there for the rest of the day if you have
A couple more questions. You have about 5 more minutes.
I'm a huge fan of your work, Johnny.
Thank you.
And I've kind of been wanting to get into voice acting myself. What is the best piece of advice you've ever been given about voice acting?
Gosh, I don't know if any of my advice is the best advice. I would say study acting. That's probably pretty good advice. Because if you can't act and then you get your shot, your one shot, and you can't act, then you'll probably not be called in ever again by those people. You'd have to go somewhere else. So knowing how to act will definitely help. There are a lot of great, like Steve Bloom teaches. I think it's Bloom Fox Studios.
Yes.
So he does, and I think there's like a first lesson free maybe or something like that. I would highly recommend go to someone like that who is a professional, a great voice actor, and is working, and is actually a working actor. Me, I do have some things, but I'm keeping all of my secrets for now.
Have a good day.
What? Except Coquillos, yeah. Come on, guys. I tried to do the one nice thing for you guys, to let you in on a secret. This is the way you repeat it. Actually, I don't think it's a secret. The producer told me. I don't know, maybe it was a secret. I didn't sign anything. This is what happens when you make me sign an NDA. I ruined it. It's super cool, guys. So anyways, no. We're not working on it yet, though.
So I got to see your project in, I think it was Lexington, and I was just curious, how did you come up with the name Park Exodus?
Oh, okay. So I did a short film called Arc Exodus. You can watch it right now. You can go to voxrocketstudio.com, and there's a link there. You can just watch it for free. It's a short film. It's a sci-fi film. There's a little bit of action in it. A lot of bit of action in it, I guess, towards the end. So how did I come up with the name? Well, we had like, okay, so we're pitching it as a series right now to Netflix and Hulu, and we have like 3 seasons worth. But the basic idea is roughly this, that there are parallel worlds, and there's, this other world is my character and this group, that organization he works for, is trying to stop these people from invading our world and replacing our lives. And so, the way they got over are from arcs. there are these arcs that they're kind of like portals, I guess, right? And the one arc, there's a big arc that they're trying to build to get a bunch of their people over, like in one go, and it's the name of that arc is Arc Exodus. Now that would be revealed in the series, because there are many arcs, but that's where the name is supposed to be from.
But it was like Exodus, so it's like, oh, maybe like something like Exodus.
Yeah, well, there is a little play on that. It is Exodus, that means exit, right, as well. It also is like exit us. So there's a bit of the play on words in there as
That's
well,
what I thought.
for sure.
Let me see what he has to say, because he.
It is actually probably, it started there, but then that was like we were trying to find a cool name, and then it's like, that's kind of cool. And then I added arc to it because there was some other projects called Exodus. And then because I just started developing, all right, well, what is our overall story? Where are we going to be over here? You know, what is it about, really? You know, now a lot of those things aren't revealed in the short that we did. Because the short, actually, I'll just try to tell you real quickly, but we're in 2019, I was supposed to shoot an action film, or we prepped to shoot an action film, 12 months worked to shoot this action film. In 2020, January was the goal. But then 1 week out before shooting, the lead actor quit or just bailed, and then half financing was gone. So my money was already tied up into this thing, and I already paid people. So I had to, in 1 week, come up with a completely different story. And I don't know if you know Kyle Higgins, who wrote a bunch of the Power Ranger, Boom comic stuff. He came in and helped write this story, to fix my story, make it more sci-fi. And anyways, yeah, that's it. That's probably all the time we have.
Let's give a big hand to Johnny.
Sorry, thank you guys so much. Yeah, if you didn't get a chance to ask a question, please come by the table. But I really appreciate you guys being here. Thank you.